I want to welcome everybody to the town of Cortlandt. I'm Supervisor Dr. Rich Becker, and we're here to both announce and celebrate the expansion of the policing here in the town of Cortlandt through the Westchester County Police Department. We're adding a community policing officer, and we're so pleased to have and introduce him. But first, I want to introduce those on the dais standing next to me. Of course, we have County Executive George Latimer, and on my left is Commissioner Rayner, County Legislator Colin Smith, Councilman Robert Mays, and Deputy Supervisor Jim Creighton. Welcome everyone to the town of Cortlandt. The county executive, I remember him saying, one of the best parts of being an executive is that you can get things done. It's a very practical position. And in the last couple of years, we've been battling two almost opposite types of issues. One is a perception among the public that crime is up and something has to be done, and others is a disconnect between the community and the police. And we've worked very hard to try to resolve these two issues. The first one is actually easy. Crime is actually down in Westchester, thank you to the county executive. It's down, I think, about 15%. And so we've done very, very well at that. So we have to get that word out to the community because it's important to feel safe. The crime is not increasing, it's going down. But the other is the relationship between the community and the police that's very important. And about a year and a half ago, we tasked Deputy Supervisor Jim Creighton with running a task force to try to investigate how to resolve this issue. And he ran a group that was spanned many, many weeks and was controversial. It was bipartisan. It involved police, both active and retired. And the issues that came up were contentious. But somehow this committee under Deputy Supervisor Creighton was able to distill the information down into actionable plans. And two of those that we were able to act on very quickly through the county police. One was the addition of a community resource officer that we hired a year ago, Officer Mahadehu, DePaul Mahadehu, who's been working in our community, patrolling the area. I think almost everyone's gotten to know him. He's done a fabulous job. And this year, we were able to introduce community policing, and we have Officer Ramos, who just joined us. He's been with the county police a long time. He's an experienced officer, and he will concentrate on traffic issues and quality of life issues within the town of Cortlandt. We're also blessed here in the town of Cortlandt to have the state police. They have a barracks down on Memorial Drive, and I work with them on a daily basis. In fact, the town owns the building. They lease it from us. We recently renovated it for them, and we've had a very strong relationship with the state police. But our county police are right here on campus. We've renamed the building the Cortlandt Precinct. It's right on the building. We've also put Cortlandt Precinct on all the patrol cars. And the officers that are here from the county patrol this area. They know the area cold. They're out on the streets. And my hope is that one day everyone in town will know who they are so that they feel comfortable, can call them on a first name basis. With that, I want to introduce the county executive, George Latimer, who made this all possible. We applied to the county with the help of County Legislator Colin Smith, and they made this all possible. Thank you, County Executive.
Thank you very much, Rich. Appreciate it. Thank you very much, Mr. Supervisor. It's a pleasure to be here in Cortlandt with Dr. Becker, Town Supervisor, Deputy Supervisor Jim Creighton, and Councilman Robert Mays, and the other members of the Town Council here in Cortlandt. I'm very proud to be standing alongside Commissioner Terrence Rayner of our Department of Public Safety and Colin Smith, County Legislator, who represents Cortlandt as well as Peekskill and part of Yorktown. I think this is a perfect example of governments cooperating together. And it's not what people think happens. They usually think governments are constantly in conflict with each other. Each one blames the other one for something that could have been done or should have been done. And it's more of a blame game, throw somebody under the bus, than actually cooperate for a positive result. But what we have in the County Department of Public Safety are well-trained, professional police, law enforcement officials, and their operations all over the county. Our mission as a regional police department is to police those functions that the county has directly under their responsibility. So the major parks, the Glen Islands of the world, the Kensico Dam plazas of the world, and then also to police the parkways of Westchester County. The state police is responsible for the interstate highways. But we have plenty of responsibilities in those areas. However, we've made it possible by working cooperatively with local governments to provide direct policing assistance for the county police, and Cortlandt has taken us up on that opportunity by creating this partnership. And it's really a tri-partnership because, as Dr. Becker said, the state police is involved along with the county police and then the town of Cortlandt. And that serves the people of Cortlandt well. It also is more economical. We have this arrangement in some fashion in Mount Kisco as well. The village of Mount Kisco saves money by having the county providing this service for them, and this works as well as Cortlandt, and to have some additional police service on board. The individuals who are trained through the County Police Academy, who have served in other assignments around the county, come into Cortlandt experienced in police work, but at the same time they develop, just as Rich said, that local understanding of the community, and that's essential. If you want to be able to have the right kind of policing, you must know the turf, you must know the people, and you build their respect. I grew up as a kid on the south side of Mount Vernon, and in those days, a long time ago, we looked up to the police of that area. We knew that they were there to protect us. We also knew that they understood us as kids, and that was in a dynamic, multi-racial environment in those days. So here in Cortlandt, we have this. We're very happy that the county can be a partner of this. I want to highlight also the work that County Legislator Colin Smith does to advocate. There's 17 members of the county legislature. Each one has a piece of turf. I had a job like that myself a number of years ago, and you can be myopic. You worry about your communities, and that's good because you bring to the table the desire to help Cortlandt, Peekskill, and the rest of the turf that you have, and that's what Colin has done, and we appreciate it. I don't always appreciate it when he gets in my ear, but he gets in my ear for good reason. And so we appreciate the fact that he's strong about it, that we have a good relationship with the town, and we view this as a good step forward. This is the practical example of how we back our police, that we stand behind our police, we respect their service, when the time is right, we negotiate the kind of contracts that hopefully are fair, that are adaptable to both sides, and that we fully fund the police in our budget system, which we have in the past. And it is true that when you compare the end of 2022 to the end of 2017, crime in Westchester County is down. Now, when you turn on television at night, you will see news stories from all across the country. And if you see a news story from North Carolina, maybe one from Brooklyn, another one from San Francisco, you'll draw the judgment that everything is coming unglued. The media covers what makes news. What doesn't make news is when there is an absence of crime. And that absence doesn't come because of public officials. It comes because of professional police people who are doing their job well. We have a real-time crime system in Westchester County that helps apprehend those people that break the law, and it serves as a deterrent to the people who think about breaking the law, knowing that there's a higher chance that they'll be captured in Westchester County. We have specialty operations, bomb squad units, and Essex, the dog who is here, who has a special talent and skill as well, perhaps will be covered before this press conference is over. So hopefully, Commissioner, as we go through the next budget process, we'll give you and your men the resources that you need, and that Supervisor Becker, that will be helpful to you here in Cortlandt. Thank you for the invitation to join you. It's a pleasure to be with you. You're going to introduce the Commissioner?
And pleasure to introduce our police commissioner, our county police commissioner, Commissioner Rayner. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Becker. I'm pleased to join Dr. Becker, our county executive, Latimer. Supervisor Becker, I'm here to highlight the addition of a traffic safety officer to our patrol force here in the town of Cortlandt. In most communities, and especially here in Cortlandt, which is no exception, residents want to be sure that the roads they travel are safe. They want to know that everything possible is being done to curb aggressive driving, distracted driving, impaired driving, and other behaviors that put citizens at risk. Our patrol officers have always been engaged in this type of work. However, the demands of responding to incidents and emergencies, answering other calls for service, can sometimes limit the time they have available to proactively address these issues. The addition of a dedicated traffic safety officer will enable us to increase the enforcement we do and increased public education and outreach on this topic as well. This model has worked well for the county police and our Mount Kisco precinct, and it's utilized by many municipal police agencies to enhance traffic safety. It is common to hear from residents about specific issues in their neighborhoods. Perhaps there's an issue with motorists speeding through residential streets or failing to stop at certain stop signs, passing school buses that are picking up or dropping off students. The traffic safety officer will be utilized and has been utilized to address these specific concerns. The officer we've assigned to this task here in Cortland is Police Officer Alberto Ramos. He's a 7-year veteran who began his career in January of 2018 with the City of Mount Vernon, and he transferred to the Westchester County Department of Public Safety in 2020. He's been assigned to patrol our parkways. He's been assigned to the Mount Kisco precinct and the motorcycle unit as well. Officer Ramos brings a broad range of municipal policing experience and traffic enforcement experience to his newest assignment here. We look forward to the continued contributions he will make here in Cortland to enhance the safety of this community. Police Officer Ramos began his assignment here in August of this year. Since then, he has conducted numerous high-visibility traffic safety details. As a result of his work, more than 200 uniform traffic summonses have been issued. He's made a DWI arrest, and he has impounded several vehicles which were being operated even though the vehicle's registration was suspended or the driver did not possess a valid driver's license. He is working here in this town to make a difference. Let me close by thanking Dr. Becker, the town board, and the entire Cortland community for your continued support and for the trust you've placed in the Westchester County Department of Public Safety. Our department is proud to be an integral part of this great community. We remain committed to working in collaboration with town and community leaders to ensure the safety of the people here in this community. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Rayner. Very much appreciate your kind words, your wisdom, and your help in making this happen. I'd like to introduce our county legislator, Colin Smith. I called Colin and told him the town board wanted to move forward with the proposal of having a community police officer dedicated to traffic and safety issues in our town. And he carried that message to the county and made it happen. County legislator?
Thank you, Dr. Becker. And it is great to see that in partnership with the county, we have been able to move forward with that proposal. It's, as already been stated, you know, the relationship between our community and our police departments has been strained over the course of the last couple of years. Here in Westchester County, I'll point out that before the governor had issued the mandate for municipalities to engage in police reform, our county executive, George Latimer, directed the county to engage in a review of the policing and with an eye towards improving the relationship between the police and the community. And I think what that really shows is demonstrative of just how here in Westchester County, we are ahead of the curve in many respects, and certainly when it comes to community policing, we have been ahead of the curve. Commissioner Rayner and the entire Department of Public Safety here in Westchester has been working with our local communities in these types of relationships and endeavors for many, many years. And I'll also point out that we have Sergeant Michael Dress, who heads up the community, the school policing program. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, but there's many communities across the county that where the county Department of Public Safety works with the school districts to provide school resource officers, and that is another area in which we are. Westchester County is really on the cutting edge of policing and developing those better relationships with the community. So it's really a pleasure to see that we are able to expand the number of officers that we have here. I know sometimes there's a perception that up here in the northern parts of the county, we don't always get the same love as some of our southern counterparts. But with my good friend, County Executive Latimer here, he has been nothing less than amazing in ensuring that Cortlandt and the other areas here in the northern part of the county get the same attention and get access to the same resources, especially when it comes to policing. So it's a pleasure to be here today. Welcome to Officer Ramos to the new detail, although apparently you've been here for a little while and made a couple of, written a few traffic summons, it sounds like. But that's great because I live here, I live in Peekskill right next door, and there certainly is ample opportunity for traffic enforcement in this neck of the woods. So congratulations and welcome, and of course to your colleagues who have been here. Officer Mahadio, who's been here for a while now. You're a valuable asset to our community. Thank you.
Thank you, Colin. Appreciate your wise words. And I also want to introduce County Deputy Supervisor Jim Creighton, as well as Councilman Robert Mays, who made this happen. You know, when we decided we wanted to add another officer to the town of Cortlandt, we had to find a way to get that into our budget. And these guys said, whatever, we have to make it work, and they did. So they helped me with the budget. We helped, was working with Sergeant Dress to make this happen. And so you guys want to come up?
Thank you. Well, I just want to say it was my honor to chair Cortlandt's Police Reform Task Force on behalf of former Supervisor Linda Puglisi, and had the pleasure of having now Supervisor Dr. Becker with me by my side through almost every single meeting throughout those 6 months that we met. It wasn't that we didn't have easy discussions. We had really good, healthy, important discussions that ultimately, they started in October of 2020, and we formally submitted our report to the town board in March of 2021 to help improve policing here in our community, and also to make sure that we move forward with the recommendations that we wanted to see here in our community, but also wanted to assist the county executive and County Legislator Smith in their review of policing throughout the county as they look to reimagine policing and improve it. We ultimately made 18 recommendations to here within the policing structure here in Cortlandt, but also to the county, and pass those along to our friends in New York State as well. The Cortlandt Police Task Force was made up of a very diverse committee of community members. We had, everybody you could think of. We had former police officers, we had attorneys, we had educators, we had concerned individuals, community activists. We had a very wide range of people that dealt with a wide range of issues. And it really was an honor to work with these amazing, dedicated citizens who wanted nothing more than to ensure that our community is the best community, that it's safe, and that we are thoughtful about our policing. So I want to thank Supervisor, then Deputy Supervisor Becker, for all of his thoughtful recommendations throughout the process. His comments were really important as the committee looked at these difficult issues. And I know there were a lot of calls around the rest of the country to defund the police at that time. And I'm just so proud of County Executive Latimer and the county legislature, including Colin Smith and all of the legislators who ensured that we didn't just look at policing and tweak some things, but they actually made policing better and actually increased our policing services. So here in Cortland, we were very happy to not just look at it, but also to improve and to invest in our police in our community. And the county, for all their help in looking at our recommendations, were particularly helpful when our committee was asking for help with community policing. So when we talked about all these policies and we ultimately came up with how do we make it happen, the town board was fabulously supportive, and I couldn't be more happy to have all of these people around us as partners, and our police, throughout that committee, the one overwhelming comment from our community, from the people who spoke at public hearings and in the committee structure, was that we love our police. And so we're really glad that the county enthusiastically embraced all of our 18 recommendations. And today, we're very pleased to continue that great work. So thank you so much.
Thanks so much, Jim. And without further ado, let's introduce the man of the hour. Officer Ramos, would you come up and bring your colleagues with you? Come on up, guys. And Sergeant Dress, you got to come up too. Want to say a few words?
All righty.
Give him moral support.
Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. My name's Officer Ramos with the Westchester County Police Department. Just want to emphasize that if anybody has any safety concerns, like the citizens of Cortland, if you have any safety concerns, just reach out. If it's an emergency, call 911. If it's not an emergency, my phone number and my email are on the Town of Cortland website. You can contact me. I'll answer at any time, and I'll address your concerns. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And just to show how important the police are, this past Sunday morning, I woke up and in my backyard was a rather mangy fox moving back and forth that decided to sit down and then roll over on its back. And I looked at it and I said, this doesn't look great. So I called the county police. I spoke to Sergeant Dress. He sent Officer Osterman over with his little puppy. And by the time they arrived on scene, unfortunately, the perpetrator, this little fox, had moved on. And they responded so quickly. And it's just so nice that you can call them for anything on any hour, and they show right up. And obviously not a serious incident, but it gave me confidence that if anything serious did come up, they'd be there momentarily. So with that, we'll wrap up for today, but I do want to thank the county executive and the commissioner and our county legislator, Colin Smith, for all their help in making this happen. I've been working on a daily basis with Sergeant Dress and his team. They've made such a difference here. I've been down at the State Police Barracks on Memorial Drive. We talk about all the issues in town. We actually have two wonderful police departments with such depth. We are really blessed here. I feel safe. I hope you do too. Thank you very much.